Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. I've tried to record this video so many times and for weeks, and I have not been able to figure out how to do it because I'll start off trying to have a positive mental attitude and be nice and chirpy, and then I can't keep it up, or I start off really down in the dumps, and then it's a video of me talking in a monotone voice for 40 minutes and nobody wants to watch that, and I don't even want to sit there and do it because I'm depressed enough as it is. So I don't know how to get through this, so I'm just going to try again and hope that attempt 57 is the one. So bear with me here, please. I think that you guys can probably guess what this is about. I think that it's pretty obvious that I've not been my usual self for a while now. And I want to talk about why that is. I want to talk about some small positive thing to come out of it, to kind of bookend this chapter of things. And then I want to talk about what I'm doing to fix what's going on in there. So that's going to be kind of the structure of the video, I guess. Yeah, please bear with me. This is going to be quite hard for me. So let's talk about YouTube. There are things on YouTube that are stressful, that will always be stressful for creators. For example, COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which is coming into force on January 1st, is very scary. Things like that are terrifying. But those sorts of existential threats seem to crop up every 6 months, and so as a creator, you sort of get used to those things. What you don't get used to is when burnout hits you in a way that it's never really hit you before, and in a way that you just don't know how to recover from. I've been making YouTube videos for 10 years, and I have not really taken any breaks. Like, there aren't really any weekends away from content making or thinking about work or doing work and things like that. There's been one break that I took last Christmas with but I mean, this year has been really, really difficult for me, and I've just been working, and with other stuff that's been happening in my life recently that I'll get into in a moment, I've been mega burnt out, and it's been really tough to know how to move forward. With that happening, I've also entered into a new chapter on YouTube, post-Ether, essentially, post Black Ops 4 Zombies, where zombies is over now. Like, for all we know, there could be no zombies next year. There's certainly no zombies this year in Modern Warfare. And so I've been put in a position where I could just keep doing the same old thing that I've basically been doing for 10 years and making customs videos and legacy content and things like that. Or I could try and figure out what is next for me as a human. What should I do with the rest of my career? And is whatever talent I have best used in this space rather than somewhere else? Could I be happier somewhere else? Should I still be doing this at this point? There are all these questions in my head, and I don't have the answers to them, to be honest with you. I really don't. I have had a really tough year with zombies. It's been really difficult for reasons that we're not going to go into now because I've talked about them on the channel before, and I think a lot of it goes without saying. But with it ending now, and with 6 months ahead of us of no obvious games to kind of jump to, like a Fortnite or a Minecraft or a GTA, certainly for me at least right now, no obvious games, and no obvious upcoming pending zombies content, it's kind of just left me in this real massive questioning, uncertain place. I just don't know what's next for me. And a lot of that is because of the burnout, because without the burnout, I feel like I would have a lot of motivation to be trying new things and stuff like that, but I'm burnt out. And so I've just been in this position of real uncertainty. And that, I think, is going to be a bit of a theme for the other things that have been going on, which I guess I'll explain now. This is going to be where things get quite difficult for me to talk about. I want to be quite light on details because I'm trying to keep various things private as I can while still kind of filling you guys in on what's going on. So, yeah. I have had family in hospital over the last few months. And I have been finding it really hard. I think that you can all relate, probably, to when someone in your family is going through something. It sucks. And especially these last few months for me, it's really, really, really sucked. I've been knocked down in a way that I just didn't really anticipate, I guess, and that I am still trying to find ways to cope with. And last year I spent a fair bit of time in A&E, not myself in the hospital bed, but with someone else. And that was a really traumatic time for me, as I'm sure you guys can appreciate. When someone you love and care about is in A&E, it's definitely not fun. And so being back in that environment now, and that being the case over the course of sort of a few months, and it feeling kind of drawn out in that kind of way, has been really horrible. It's been really, really horrible. And I have found it really difficult, and it has drained me emotionally at a time where I'm already burnt out. I'm already questioning what the hell I'm doing with my life. And then this has just sort of happened to coincide with it all, and it's really knocked me off my feet. So that's been really tough, really, really tough. And unfortunately for me, I also, in that exact same window of time that's been going on, have been going through a really, really difficult breakup, which has been incredibly hard for me to deal with. Without going into too much detail, I was hopelessly in love with a girl, and we'd been together for a couple of years, and we're not together anymore. And I have had no emotional energy left from everything else going on to even begin to figure out how to pick up the pieces from it, to be honest. It's been really hard. And again, I'm not trying to make this a therapy session. I'm not going to go into all the details now, but basically it's just been another thing that has been completely occupying my headspace every single day, instead of normal, healthy Milo thoughts about work or play or whatever. It's been really hard to get all these things off my mind. And like the breakup especially has sucked so much. So I've been kind of beaten down a bit by a variety of different things. And like I said with the YouTube thing, how I've been kind of questioning what's next for me, and this sort of pillar of my life for the last 10 years has kind of stepped into the shadow for a little bit to kind of see what comes next. I mean, you could sort of say that the same sorts of things are happening in the other kind of 2 points as well. And I've just not known how to deal with any of it, and I've really tried my best to kind of scrape through where I've been able to, but it hasn't been easy, and it's left me in a really difficult mental headspace. So I am making this video now to try and address the fact that with you guys, I want to be very crystal clear that I'm aware this stuff's been affecting my output, and I'm sorry, because I know that you guys were waiting for so much content from me from Tag and onwards, really, that just never materialized. Modern Warfare, I've hardly covered. Borderlands, I started covering, was so excited about, and then other stuff started happening in my life to do with the stuff that I've talked about that just completely made me incapable of doing anything for a bit. And I feel guilty, man. Like, I know that in terms of being like healthy, having a healthy relationship with work, I shouldn't expect myself to be able to just ignore other stuff going on in my life and work through it. But at the same time, like, I know that you guys have a certain expectation of content. And I also know that in terms of my job, I need to have a certain expectation of content for myself to keep putting stuff out so that I stay in a job. Like, I'm letting myself down by not posting as frequently. I'm letting myself down by throwing away opportunities. And again, I need to catch myself because I'm not just throwing them away. Like, there are reasons why I'm not being able to take those opportunities because of stuff that's been going on. But it's really hard not to beat myself up about it, man. So I wanted to make this video to basically just fill you guys in a little bit without going into too much depth, to just say what has been happening and to kind of set you up for what's next, and also to maybe give you guys one last little thing sort of to look forward to as well, I hope. Let's go with that actually now. So something that you guys have asked me for years, literally, is to bring back my old Home Sweet Home house t-shirts and my duck t-shirt and all that sort of stuff, because there are a lot of you guys that subscribed this year that really like those designs but just weren't around back then to pick them up for yourself and stuff like that. Now, I know there are going to be people in the comments going, oh, he's put this in here just as an advert or whatever, but I mean, I'm really hoping that this is actually something that you guys can kind of be excited about. Zombies has come to an end, and I wanted to do this during Tag der Toten, but I just wasn't capable of doing it. But here we are. As a farewell to Zombies, as a parting gift, as it were, I am, for a limited time, for just December, I'm going to be bringing back basically all my old merch. So if you didn't pick up a Home Sweet Home poster originally, t-shirt, then you have the chance to now. If you didn't grab yourself a Great War t-shirt during Tag der Toten, even though that was only a few months ago, you have the chance to now. Like, all that stuff is going to be back for the month of December. The way it's going to work is that if you order between now and December 8th, the Sunday, the end of Sunday, then your order will definitely get to you by Christmas. If you order later than that, then we'll be shipping on January 1st, I think. So essentially, if you order in this first week, then we'll ship everything at the end of the week and it will arrive in the following 2 weeks. If you order your stuff anytime after this first week of the campaign, anytime after December 8th, then we will ship it out on January 1st, and so it will arrive sometime in the month of January, depending on where you are on planet Earth. So that should give you an idea of the kind of timeframes of things, because I know a lot of people who have ordered stuff in the past have been unsure about whether things are pre-orders and stuff like that. So yeah, those are the kind of timeframes. It's all on the same link as normal, waffles.onage.com. Don't feel like you have to buy something. There's no obligation here. I'm just sort of trying to do it as a nice way to say goodbye to Zombies in a way that I didn't really do properly with Tag. I needed to get to this at some point, and now's the time. So I actually think I've got just here. Yeah, we even have Great War posters, which I didn't even have one of until now, like quite recently, because it got shipped to the wrong address. I accidentally gave them my old address, but we have the Great War posters now with what's her face. Oh, I just dropped it. Okay, well, that's staying in the video because I'm not sure I'm going to actually be editing this one that much, but Samantha in there with the Margwa, with the Keeper and all that good stuff. Those are available right now as well. So hopefully that is something that kind of brings a smile to some of your faces. Fingers crossed. The other thing is that with the end of Zombies, I'm gonna be basically getting up a couple more videos, which will be Zombies Unexplained, that series. So you guys, if you were looking forward to more of that, then that's on the way. I'm not sure how in depth I want to make that series in terms of numbers of episodes. I don't know if I want to go really, really far into it, but I think that there are going to be definitely a couple more of those coming in the next week or so. And then, I mean, I guess that actually leads in quite nicely to what is next for me. So it's very scary as a YouTuber to say I am going away for a bit, because you feel like YouTube is going to punish you for taking any time away. You feel like as soon as you step away, your subscribers are going to disappear and your momentum is going to disappear and all that stuff. But I desperately need it at this point. I would not be doing this, and I think the evidence of that is that I haven't done this until now, unless I absolutely had to. But I'm just not in a good place mentally, and so I need to take a break. Now, I know that I've called this video like a parting gift for the Zombies community, and I want to be very clear that this isn't the end of MrRoflWaffles. Please don't get that idea. I am going to be coming back at some point. I don't know exactly when, but what my plan is essentially is to leave the country and go and live in the mountains for a bit and try and find myself, as corny as that sounds. If any health stuff happens, like if I get hurt, I mean, like if you're living on a mountain, it's not necessarily the safest place in the world with avalanches and crevasses and all that sort of jazz. If anything like that happens, then I'll try and let you guys know, because I think that you deserve to kind of be informed about what's going on with me. But yeah, I'm going to basically just go and be a bit of a monk for a while, I think is the plan. And when I come back, which if I had to give you a guess, it would be sometime in February or March next year, I am hoping that I will be refreshed in a way that I never really have allowed myself to be before. It may be that I come back and I'm like, yo, I've got this great idea for a startup that sells buckets, and that's going to be my lifelong passion now, and that's that. Hopefully I come up with a better idea than that, but that might happen. Or I might come back and say, hey, this is my exact content strategy for the next year in terms of Black Ops 5 and all that. And like, that's what I'm expecting right now, basically, is to come back, Black Ops 5 kind of hype will start building back up again, and I'll get right back to where I was before, right? Like, I'll be right back in with the momentum of that game kind of starting to be hyped up. I'll be making the same old content that I've always made that you guys really enjoy, and it will be like I never left. That's kind of the goal. But to get to the goal, I need to fix this. So as much as I'm hoping that some of you guys will see the kind of like resurgence or revival of some of those old like merch designs as like one little kind of parting gift to remember zombies with and things like that, in a lot of ways also, if you're a fan of my content and if you enjoy my content, I hope in a way that you can see me stepping away like this for a little bit as an investment in making sure that I'm able to pump out all the content that you love next year when there's all that content to be made. Essentially, the gift of healing now so that I can work really hard later on and give you all of that free entertainment on YouTube that you all really enjoy, I assume at least, or at least I hope. If you're still watching this video at this point, then you probably enjoy my content to some extent. So yeah, I mean, in the next week, I've got 1 or 2 videos that are going to be going up. I've got a couple of sponsored videos as well. I've had some sponsors who have been absolutely wonderful, who are essentially helping me fund this trip away. So I'm so thankful to them. You'll see a couple videos sponsored by them in the next week or 2 that will be going up. But yeah, essentially the plan is that I'm going to be going away, and once I've pumped out those last, like, let's say like 3, 4, 5 videos, whatever it's going to be, I'm going to be pretty much cold turkey donezo for a while. A month, maybe 2 months, whatever it's going to be. It's sort of a case of however long it takes for my brain to level out again. Obviously, there's going to be stuff that is ongoing in that time. I've got a lot of healing and processing to do, but family being in hospital is going to wait for no man, right? And so there's going to be naturally stuff that comes up in the meantime, and I'm going to need to deal with it as it comes. So that's essentially the plan for the next little bit. And I think that I actually got through that fairly decently. I haven't burst into tears, which is good. And I think I covered the points that I needed to cover. I think that the last thing I need to say is that as much as this has been a really difficult year with zombies because of blue screens and all that stuff, the people in the zombies community that I've got to know, you guys watching this video, the other creators that I make content with, everyone that makes up the community, as much as sometimes grinds my gears, man, there are some real bright smart. Of course I mess it up right at the end. There are some real bright sparks amongst you guys. Really, really bright sparks. And you've, in a lot of ways, become great friends to me. In a lot of ways, you've been amazingly supportive of me, and you've given me something to wake up and look forward to, because I have loved having the opportunity to entertain you guys for as long as I have. And I want to do that for many years to come. And so I'm basically just trying to say that I've been really grateful. I am really grateful for the opportunity that you've given me. And I hope that we can look forwards now with this being like I said, an investment in a little bit of stuff for my brain, so that when I come back, I can be right back doing the stuff that you guys love and that you guys expect and deserve. So it's going to be a bit weird because I'm posting this and then I'm going to have these videos that I've like saved up going out in the next like 10 days. So there will be some more stuff going up for a little bit, but then the break will come in properly. Those sponsored videos are going to be going up as well. Please show some love to those sponsors for supporting me with my little kind of trip to the mental health mountain. And yeah, I hope that I'm making the right decision, because it's terrifying. It's really terrifying. But I feel like I don't really have any other choice right now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've had a good week so far. Hope Black Friday was good. And I'll talk to you all soon, okay? I just want to be happy again. It's going to take some time.